Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Taste of Reality. My name is Queenie. For those who don't know me, and I know I'm late. Okay, I've had a crazy week, but I am back. The next video might be late as well. Okay, so just prepare yourselves. Before I get into it, please make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell. Let's break it down. They really need to stop starting each episode with Hania because this man triggers me.
I know you just couldn't find the words to say, I know we'll get the chance to talk. Maybe she's angry at me for something. Maybe she's embarrassed because she did what she did.
Maybe she doesn't want to be with you. How about that? How about she has found her worth and sees that you are not worth her time? Oh my gosh. I know a lot of you guys have been saying, oh, on the after stuff, Hania definitely, has seen the error of his ways and he's better. I don't care. I'm reviewing Temptation Island, not the after show. So I'm going to be annoyed with Hania on the show. Luke is on a date with Juicy. Was it Juicy? Yeah. And he says that therapy wouldn't benefit him the way that this process does.
Like, if I make it through a house with 12 beautiful women and I'm not cheating on her, I'll be really happy.
Now, if the issue in his relationship was infidelity, then maybe I would agree, right? The problem is that he reaches out to outside women, not for sex, but for emotional reassurance. Oh my gosh, I'm dying. And so that's why, she's been complaining about the work. Has she seen the work? She doesn't complain about seeing him with other people. It's, has he matured? Has he grown? Is he now more emotionally expressive? And therapy can really help with that. I'm glad that he has been having these revelations with Mark, with himself and whatever. But babe, therapy. Then we have Lascelles, who still wants to be in Ashley's life, but just as a friend.
I want to do everything in my power to keep her in my life, just as a friend.
It's just looking like you want your cake and eat it too. Honestly, this is like a dagger to the heart.
This is why, Miss Trace, you don't accept the I love yous from somebody who, one, is still betrothed to somebody else, and and two, you've only known for a few weeks in a very, very isolated environment. You know what I mean? And this is not to say that down the line love can't grow. 1000%, it could. And it might be, the truest love they've ever experienced. But he loves to teeter the line between both women. And later on, Mark does call him out on that, and we'll wait to talk about that. And unfortunately for Trace, Ashley is also open for reconciliation. So if they both decide that, they want to have love for each other and not necessarily be in love, it could be easy to fall back into their routine of being in a relationship. I don't know, girl. Trace, be careful. So later on, he's telling the other women that, he definitely does love Trace, but he still has love, which are two different things, for Ashley, right? And Trace is upset again.
She said, I love you too. That's all I wanted was summertime love.
I cannot put myself in a position to love someone that is still in love with someone else.
Honestly, we're the last girls that they kicked out a few episodes ago. And where's Tommy? Bring them both, okay? Because this codependence and equating that to love is so toxic. Trace gets upset whether he's talking to a female or a male. It doesn't matter. If he's not talking to her, if he's not reassuring her, she's in her feelings. And it's like, baby girl, this is not a way to build a foundation for a relationship. It really isn't. And also, you have to understand, yeah, your feelings for him are strong, but this was 7 years. And the goal, supposedly, for the people who come on this show is to figure out their issues so that they can get back together. So, babes, I'm gonna need you to use your critical thinking skills and stop getting in your feelings so much. So Ash is having an internal crisis where she's holding on to Hania because she believes that he may be the only one who would stay with her in the long run.
She's made me come out of my shell and tell her things I've never told anyone, but she just went back to square one. I feel like that video message her up.
It did.
First of all, I definitely understand Taylor's frustration because he's been nothing but complimentary. He reassures her. He hasn't really given her anything to be concerned about that we've seen. So to hear her think that Hania is the only one who would see her as, you know, valuable, worthy, like worthy of love, it's like, girl, no. Okay, that's number one. Number two, babe, just because somebody's willing to stay doesn't mean you don't have a reason to leave. Like, don't stay in something because you don't think there's anybody else out there for you. I mean, granted, like, we all want companionship. I get it, you know, but it's not the end all and be all of life. So if you never find somebody, okay, it sucks, but you know, maybe this is horrible advice. But like, don't ever count yourself out and accept mediocre love out of fear. That's really what I'm trying to say. All right, so at the final bonfire, Luke sees the other guys basically crap on his entire existence by calling him a beta.
Wow. It's a lot of judgment. I'm excited for her to see that I can understand, listen, and just use my emotional brain first. I'm creating a version 2.0 here.
I don't blame him for being upset. I don't blame him at all. The way that Iris was talking about him earlier on, I could kind of see how the guys have this impression of him, and then also the way that she was fawning over Deke, you know, she might make it seem like, wow, you're this like perfect representation of a man, so therefore my man is not that. I don't know, who knows? Kudos to Luke though for not getting too butthurt about the situation, and honestly, he has been focused on his growth. He has. We don't get to see much of it, but that's what he's been doing, so just keep on that track. Lascelles. This man might actually not love Ashley for real, because anything he sees her doing, he's just unbothered.
It looks like she's on a fantastic path on, you know, becoming a more independent woman, like realizing that the romantic side that I was possibly missing, it can be found somewhere else. I'm in the in-love category with Trace, and I have love for Ashley.
Mark warns him that mincing his words when you're talking to Trace about Ashley leaves too much for interpretation. You know, he loves being in the gray area, I guess because he doesn't want to completely close the door on Ashley just in case there's potential that they can have reconciliation. But if you love Trace, she deserves complete honesty. She deserves complete loyalty. And if you're not ready for that, then I'm going to need you to stop saying that. Stop saying that you love her until you're willing to step up to the role of what it takes to love a woman like Trace. Okay? Okay. We see Hania. Hania is crying over the fact that Taylor was just loving all over Ash.
I knew before coming here that I was in love with her, and I still feel that way. But the real surprise to me is that I could feel that depth of love at all.
Just inhala, exhala. Inhala, exhala, or else I will lose my mind when it comes to Hania. So, swiftly moving on. Edgar sees Jillian in the shower with Tommy.
I feel uncomfortable, but I'm not going to be a hypocrite. I've also reached a level of intimacy like that with Marissa.
You know what? I'm just glad that he has knocked the boots with old girl Marissa, because we don't have to see this man cry at every single bonfire. Not demonizing men who cry, not saying men who cry are weak. It was just a lot. It was a lot. And I'm still of the idea that there are some manipulative traits in Edgar. It's just hard to find them because he's the more emotional one in their relationship. And also Jillian has admitted to maybe lying to herself before coming to this process. So it looks like she's the villain. I don't know. Something about Edgar doesn't quite sit right with me. Moving on to the women's bonfire, Iris sees Luke say that he hopes that that she can acknowledge his growth and that they can start fresh.
I don't think he's taking the accountability that I wanted him to, but at the same time, in the beginning, I did brush him off a lot.
I think they'll be together. I think they'll make it work. They both decided early on that exploring other options is not for them and they're just going to work on themselves. That could lead them to discovering that they're better apart than together. But if anyone was to work out, y'all know I've said it before, it will be the two of them. Ash sees Hania be emotional 1 second and then basically crap on her the next second regarding not getting a video from her.
I don't feel bad because the same consideration was not given to me in his actions throughout our relationship.
She says later on that she wants to ask him why he needed other women to fulfill him. I understand a lot of us, me included, need and want closure. However, the great thing about this process is you get to see your person to some degree completely unfiltered without them painting a pretty picture for you to accept and you not knowing the full story. She still doesn't know the full story, right? But in this process, you've already seen that you were not enough for him. You were never going to be enough for him. And that's your answer right there. Why ask him why he needed other women? You were never going to be enough for him. That doesn't mean you are not enough. He just was unable to see the worth that she brought to the situation. No need to question it, babe. Just move on and live your life. Ashley sees Lascelles say that he's excited to have Trace as his partner.
And I just feel so disrespected, hurt, mad. I definitely don't deserve this at all.
I'm ready for them to move on. The back and forth between the two of them, it's exhausting. And I could see how they haven't come to a resolve in 7 years. Yeah, I don't know if Ashley has her person on this island, but definitely leave alone, babe. Definitely leave alone. They do leave us on a cliffhanger where we see Jillian see Edgar have sex with, what's her name again? Marissa.
Oh my God.
Honestly, I'd be shocked too, because the way that Edgar came to this island, you would have thought he would combust at Jillian even thinking about another man. So the fact that he committed to having sex with somebody else, shocked me too. But yeah, we're gonna see. This was the last bonfire, so I'm assuming the next episode is the last episode, unless they're trying to split it up where they do half of the ceremonies with like half the couples and then the other. They're probably gonna do that, and then the reunion will be coming. So yeah, we'll see what's the end result with all these couples. Again, the next review is also going to be late. Please don't come for me. Okay, I'm trying my best. As always, like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.